Hello, welcome. Boxer this week 42. We are well and truly well established on this platform now. So, big old week, mainly in the heavyweight division. We got a lot to talk about.
Well. Link in the chat.
Link is going to go in the chat in a second. Let me do this now, actually, because I'll forget. So, mainly talking heavyweights this week because we've obviously got Heavy Impact, which is not as good as it looked like it was going to be when it first got announced, but it's still good. First of all, Paolo, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good,
man. I'm good.
Right. Let's do a very quick weekly roundup. There's not a whole lot that we're either not talking about, but Michaela Mayer beat Sandy Ryan more convincingly this time around. Sandy Ryan still did very well. You know, you can tell there's still two of the best, but Michaela Mayer won. Brian Norman Jr., someone we kind of spoke about very briefly last week and said to watch out for, won by knockout in the third round to retain his world title. It wasn't a hard fight, but the point with him is that he's going to get harder fights in future. And then what else has happened? I feel like there's something I'm missing. It's Tim Tszyu Fight Week in Australia.
Yeah.
Interesting fact: the Tszyu family are 50-0 in Australia. So Kostas, Tim, and Nikita, his cousin or brother or whatever it is. And then there's another fight. Janabek, best middleweight in the world, is back on Friday on a Top Rank show, which is why you've not heard that he's back, but he is back. So Top Rank doing their job amazing as always, in that they've not promoted it at all, but he is back and it's worth watching. If you are going to bother staying up till crazy hours for any reason, watch him. Right. We have got quite a few things to talk about. We're going to start off with the fight that happened last week. So William Zepeda fought Tevin Farmer in their rematch. Still quite a close fight. Still a close fight, but he got the job done. He won again. So now there's no reason. Shakur's not got a fight lined up. Zepeda doesn't have a fight lined up. They both do Riyadh season. They both fight under promotions that are involved with Turkey. This has to be the next fight.
Yeah, long story short of it, yes. We're talking about potentially just fights that need to be made that at this point, this is all we need to see. I don't think there's any more fights that you can give these guys that just steer them away from doing what's best for boxing, the fans, and probably themselves as well. Shakur needs a challenge like that.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, has he fought at the same level, saying as he's going to fight as a Zepeda, as you want to call it? If you look at his last three fights, have they been on his level?
No, not even close. Not even close. I mean, I feel like we say this all the time. 2022 Shakur was a pound-for-pound fighter. 2025 Shakur is a pound-for-pound top fighter, but there's no real proof of it right now.
My thing is that's what I'm saying to you. Like, he needs his fight because what are we judging him off to be a pound-for-pound fighter?
3 years ago.
3-4 years ago, yeah? That's what I'm saying to you. Then Pacquiao is one of the best in the world right now.
Yeah. And this is the problem is, right, is even Shakur against Josh Padley, we saw that Shakur is clear. I mean, he's an incredible fighter. We saw that. And it's really hard to explain because we're not saying that he's not. But Josh Padley was a late replacement. I'm not doing the whole he's an electrician and all this stuff because that kind of disrespects Josh Padley.
He's a professional boxer first.
Exactly. He's a professional boxer and he's a good professional boxer. The only thing is he wasn't training full time and he wasn't even prepared. So like that fight, Shakur looked brilliant. No doubt about it. He got the knock, near perfect performance. But what can we actually take away from that as fans and as almost as critics in a way? Not high-level critics. We're casuals in a sense of the word. Probably not as casual as some people who are saying Shakur's the best fighter they've ever seen, but also...
That's Greeny. Oh, my God. You're calling Greeny a casual. Oh, my God. Greeny.
If you, I'm not calling him a casual, but if you're calling Shakur the best fighter you've ever seen, you're crazy. You are crazy. Yeah, that's mental because the guy's not fought enough level, the high enough level to get to that point. Equally, Zepeda brings the level. If Shakur makes Zepeda look silly, then all right. Also, this fight makes the Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis fight so much more interesting to me.
Yes.
Because right now, I don't see a way that Gervonta Davis doesn't land on Shakur. And if Gervonta...
Yeah, but Gervonta Davis is going to lose a lot of rounds.
Yeah, 100%.
So my
100%.
thing
But
is, I'm just playing background, but carry on.
Yeah, I mean, we saw with Lamont Roach in Gervonta's recent fight. Now, I don't think something was right there with Gervonta, but we saw in that fight that Davis, he's got a chin, but he actually, he'll go 12 rounds here. If you hit him hard enough, like Isaac Cruz did, like Lamont Roach did recently, if you can hit Davis hard enough and just withstand his power, you can win rounds. And those rounds, the rounds that you win early on against him, will build up. So Shakur will win most of the rounds in that fight. I don't see a way Tank doesn't land on him. And Shakur's power, I don't think scares Tank. I actually think, I mean, this is a crazy thing to say. I think Devin Haney is more powerful than Shakur Stevenson. I think Devin Haney is just weight drained all the time.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that because I think there's more evidence to suggest Haney's more powerful than Shakur. As in, there's no fight of Shakur's I look at and go, wow, like I look at Regis Prograis fight and I go, yeah, do you get it?
And I think that's the best Haney we've seen. Because Haney his weight wasn't a problem.
And then Regis Prograis, he was also fighting, let's not get it twisted, he was also fighting a boxer who realistically was not at the correct weight, I would say, to fight Haney. He weren't big enough.
No, Haney looked huge. Haney looked massive in that fight. But he dethroned the champ in his first fight at 140. And he did it with ease, and he knocked him down, and Prograis couldn't come near him because every time he did, he met a jab, and it looked like it hurt. I've never seen that. Shakur just creates angles, and there's something to say for that as well. I mean, that's an incredible skill. And in terms of actual boxing ability, I think Shakur is better than Haney. But I don't see a world where Tank eats a jab from Shakur and goes, I can't take too many more of those. They're going to hurt. Yeah. Whereas this is why I want to see the Zepeda fight, because it's not quite Tank. Zepeda has not got the Tank power. His output's far more, about 100 times more. But he is powerful. He will catch you. And we'll see if Shakur's counter-punching really works. This is the best fight, right? I think this is a better fight in terms of just visually than Tank Shakur. But Tank Shakur would be a better fight in terms of animosity and the build-up. And just, I mean, can you imagine that? That fight would be mental.
At the end of the day, we need it. That's the honest truth. I feel like I've been going round and round in circles with this, talking about what Shakur should be doing and Zepeda, and so I think I'm just going to leave it with saying that let's just see the fight and let's just see who's better. I'm kind of at that point with boxing now, that like that. I don't care about all the politics. Just get them in the ring and let me see who's better, because too many of these guys talk to us as the fans from the outside, and then when it comes to not fighting, or they don't take that fight, or they don't take this fight, you can't really blame fans for getting pissed off.
That's true. You can't. Who do you think wins then, Shakur or Zepeda? We'll move on after, but
I think so hard to say. I haven't got enough boxing ability, but you know what? When I watched Zepeda fight last time, I'm saying that Zepeda, I think he might beat Shakur.
Yeah.
I think he's been in tougher fights than Shakur.
So I think it's a lot closer than people would say. I think Shakur would win, but there'll be something in there, whether it's a knockdown or.
And this is my thing to people. It's like, what performance of Shakur's do you look at against which fighter and go, that's why? Because forget like the last 5 years. Like I get what you're saying, because I'm kind of agreeing with you on the ability. Yeah, he could win off that. But then, like, what am I looking at? Josh Padley, who is what would you say? Would you even say Padley's a European level fighter?
He beat Mark Chamberlain.
So we're looking at a European level fighter.
But yeah, he's not world level. He could get there, but he's not world level now.
So adding his opponent before that, world level?
We had De Los Santos, who 16-1, something like that. No, wait. No, De Los Santos was more than 16-1 was Robson Conchal. And then you had Yoshino. Then you, oh geez, hold on. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head, but it's not going to happen. Hold on, let's have a look. Right. Josh Padley, I think European level is fair. Then you had Artem, I'm not even going to try it. Haratianyan. Apologies. I tried my best, but Edwin De Los Santos, he was 16-1. Big up to me. Yoshino, 16-0. Look, I mean, it's hard to say. I've not watched enough of Yoshino, and I've not seen enough of De Los Santos. I can tell you now that Artem Haratianyan is not. But I think the big one is Oscar Valdez. That's the one that you can look at and go, all right, well, he beat him. Could he do the same to Zepeda?
Yeah.
But even then, I think Zepeda has more to offer than Valdez. I think Valdez is a good fighter, but he's a good fighter. He's not the best fighter we've ever seen, though.
Then I go back to my point with Shakur. You name me, like, as a fan, this is a question to the fan. You name me a performance that you look at of Shakur's and go, yeah, that performance is the one that I take where he's going to beat Tank or Zepeda or these guys. Because if I'm going off the last 3 years, the guys fought. It's like, do you know what it's like? It's like switching on the console and playing on amateur on FIFA. With all due respect. And I mean that in the sense of the level that Shakur's at. When you're not fighting the guys at the same level as you, it's easy to fucking look good. And that's my problem with this whole Shakur, I don't know what you want to call it, train.
Yeah, he's not fighting enough as well. That's the other thing. We're not seeing him enough. I mean, obviously, we're British fans, right? So the one time we've actually been able to watch him live is Josh Padley. The other fights, we've not. But the other times, we've woken up, gone on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and the comments are just flooded with Shakur and then, like, sleeping emojis or all sorts. And it's not in the sense, he's not knocked them out. It's because
the thing is,
people have left the venue whilst he's fighting.
The thing is,
and that's not his fault. That's bad matchmaking, by the way.
I disagree with that in the sense of, like, we could say the same thing about Floyd. Floyd, for me, is the greatest boxer to box when you're talking about boxing, yeah?
Yeah.
But Floyd's style in the latter of his career was more defensive counterpuncher. And that was Floyd. He'd win a lot of fights on points because he was just able to dominate a fight. People found it boring, but it got results. So I'm kind of not with that thing of, like, him being boring per se. My thing is, he boxes the way he boxes. He's going to box like that against world level fighters, by the way. It just might look better because those world level fighters might come out and open up more things for him to go at them. My thing is, he's not fighting the level that we need to see him fight at. So, like, Padley, well done to Padley, obviously, for doing what he was doing. But he come in that as a clear underdog before they stepped in the ring. So, and we saw it when they fought. Although Padley had heart, he was outclassed in most rounds, if not every round. So,
Yeah.
My thing is get Shakur in the ring with somebody who is of the same caliber and level as him. And I think after I've watched that fight, I'll make my opinion of him, win or lose.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you're kind of on the same thing as me as well.
Yeah, I think he beats Zepeda, but it's just not. But that's the fight we want. That's competitive, and the fact that we've now got a Shakur fight that should happen and hopefully will, that we are going to talk about and have debates about to some extent of how Zepeda could win this, and actually it wouldn't be unreasonable if Zepeda beat him. That's a good sign. But that needs to get announced. So I think for the meantime, let's talk about the fights that are happening, which is Joe Joyce versus Filip Hrgovic. Now, I don't know about
the card though, does it?
No, I don't know about you, but I think we're about to say goodbye to Joe Joyce.
Yeah. I've got Hrgovic winning this as a clear favourite, by the way.
Yeah.
But I can't. I can still see Joe Joyce fighting after this, which is quite sad because he's got no intention of retiring, win or lose.
I think I actually this benefits a win here for Joyce benefits him more than a win against Dillian Whyte did. I still think. I mean, Hrgovic's last fight was Daniel Dubois, and that fight, all that was just we're going to have a slug. We're just going to slug it out, and Hrgovic just had to stop. Of the two men, he was fatigued and a bit more broken than Dubois was. But ultimately, there was no skill in that fight. Not very little skill in that fight. It was just, I'm going to hit you, you're going to hit me, and we're going to keep going until round 6 or 7 when one of us has to stop. If Joyce can beat Hrgovic, which is a huge ask because Hrgovic isn't that quick, but he's quicker than Joyce. Isn't that technical, but based on what we've seen recently, is more technical than Joyce. Power-wise, we know Joyce can get dropped quite easily now. It's almost overnight. Zheli Zhang has broken Joe Joyce. I'm almost literally. We've gone from a fighter that would, I think, you could hit him with a metal baseball bat on the chin, and he wouldn't even move. His face would stay still, and then Zheli Zhang, I don't know what he did, but destroyed him. And then we saw Joyce get dropped by Chisora. I don't think this is going to be a nice fight week for British fans.
No.
But I want Joyce to win. But I really want Joyce to win and then stop.
Yeah.
And I think if he wins, he'll get moved quite far in the rankings and he's not going to stop. If he loses, I'm kind of worried like you are. I think he'll continue.
I'm going to be honest with you, yeah. I don't think he's going to win. If he does win and they put him up the rankings to like a title eliminator, I will stop watching heavyweight boxing.
I mean, luckily, I don't think he's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And I mean,
where's Hrgovic ranked now? Because I was all right.
I will stop.
He was mandatory.
If Joe Joyce gets a world title shot, I'll stop watching boxing.
If he gets a world title shot, that's crazy.
Not boxing.
Hrgovic is currently 8th. He's ranked 8th by the Ring Magazine, 6th by the IBF, 9th by WBC, and 6th at WBA. There'd be worse things that have happened than if Joe Joyce went in there and beat him, that Joyce would then somehow be mandatory.
Joe Joyce gets a title shot, I will go skinhead.
What is that after this fight only, or can we clip that and bring it up in a few years' time?
Joe Joyce gets a world title shot, I will do a 1 all over.
All right, let's clip that. Let's make sure we got a clip of that.
I will get a fade, but I'll do a 1. I'm growing my hair as well. So if Joe Joyce gets a world title shot, I will do the one all over because it can't happen.
How old is Joe Joyce? Is he 38 now? 39?
41.
39.
Basically 40.
There's time. There's time for a world title shot. Come on, Joe. Well, he has to win this weekend. I think in all honesty, I think he's going to get badly hurt this weekend.
I think he's got more chance of getting brain damage than he has of getting a world title shot. Yeah. And I don't even mean that in the most disrespectful way, but the guy gets hit too much.
He gets hit a lot. And he's in there with a powerful opponent again. I mean, the last time he was in there with someone properly powerful was Zhang, and Zhang hurt him. Like, properly hurt him. And then Cash Ali, but Cash Ali was, coming off.
Where's Cash Ali ranked? For me,
he was ranked nowhere. He is ranked nowhere now. I mean, that's the reality.
That's where that fight is. When people will talk about,
and then it was Chisora,
which he lost, right?
Yeah, and he got knocked down as well.
Okay, and you're talking about a Derek Chisora who, for that level, would be tough. But let's be honest, the guy that was one of his retirement fights. The guy is going to have one more fight, which is a world title shot. And I think he'll retire after that anyway. So
yeah, he's retired. It's his 50th fight, so Chisora's done after that anyway. But they're looking to try and make it a world title shot for 50.
Yeah.
My worry is just that I think it's a late replacement, but it's not. Hrgovic has had time. He's had a bit of a camp.
Stick him in the ring with Joshua, man. Stick him in the ring with Joshua.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
because Joshua will allow me to keep my hair growing. I know that. Joshua won't lose that fight.
No, Joshua.
Hrgovic won't lose that fight. Hrgovic is going to do me a favor. He's not going to make that one step closer because Connor's clipped this, so I got to speak it into existence.
I'm supporting Joe Joyce, but I really hope it doesn't happen the way I've got it in my head. But I think this could be a pretty shitty night for us. But the redeeming factor, there's a couple good fights on the undercard. When it was first released, it was a lot better. But we do have David Adeleye fighting again, and he is fighting Jamie TKV for the British heavyweight title, which is good. Obviously, today they had a press conference. Jamie TKV, I quite like it as well because I think I had him down as quite a passive character. Today's flipping tables, telling people to shut up, moving everyone out of his way. It's good. I prefer that. I really always thought of him as quite a passive guy. There's nothing wrong with that.
But don't get it twisted. Like anyone, he's human, but also Jamie TKV knows Adeleye.
Yeah.
Adeleye knows how to get under his skin, maybe, and TKV knows what to say to him. They're friends to the point they got each other's numbers. So, it's interesting. They need that, though. But a part of me wants to think that some of that, what we saw, was put on a bit, maybe. In the sense of Adeleye will smoke anyone, by the way. I think you catch Adeleye outside in real life. The guy's like that, from what I've heard, inside and outside the ring.
It was put on, 100%. Jamie T, that's not how he normally does things. I've never seen the guy angry in my life. But I liked it. It's done well. I'm now excited for that fight. If I'm honest with you.
That's taken the shine away from maybe the main event because I bet you. Do you know this is how bad it is? I didn't even watch Joe Joyce and Hrgovic talk after that.
There's one clip of them, and it's Hrgovic saying we should probably do something. They've taken it. And it was quite funny. And then I think Joe Joyce took about an hour to respond. Which is, typical. But it's a lot of fights on this weekend, though.
Slow Joyce, that's his name.
Slow Joyce. There's a lot of fights this weekend. I'm going to read some of them out. I mean, it's an almost old-fashioned Queensbury card, but you got about 100 prospects fighting. Mark Chamberlain is back after his loss against Josh Padley. We spoke about that earlier, but He's back. It's an easy fight for him, in all fairness. And then you got a lot of debuts. Some Khalil Majid versus Alex Murphy could be an all right fight. I've not seen either of them, but it's 14-0 versus 13-0. And the main thing of interest, Royston Barney-Smith is fighting. He's very good. But Delicious Ori, great amateur for Britain. Bit of a shambles Olympics, but he still got to the Olympics, so you can't really dispute him too much. He makes his debut on Saturday, which is after the debut of fellow Olympian Pat Brown, which we didn't mention, which was last Friday. So the Olympians, or the new era of British prospects, is kind of commenced after this Saturday. I'm quite excited to see him because from an amateur level, very excited to watch him at the Olympics. Saw him fight once and was not that impressed, but in fairness, it sounded like it was a bit of a one-off. And now we see him at the pro ranks. He's fighting Milos Veletic, who's 3-7. Has Milos ever been knocked out? He's been knocked out twice. Who's knocked him out? Let's see if we know any of these people. Matty Harris and Ali Keedin. So nothing.
Listen, man. You know what it is? It's a card that it's unfortunate with the pullouts that they had. Pause. But the card itself is going to be a good card. I'm quite positive about it because I think they're going to be fights where people get to make names for themselves. And if you don't love these kind of cards, how are you going to love Dana White's boxing model? Because this is what it's going to be for like 3 years.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm more open to it. And I know Frank Warren, since obviously as Saudi has come in, I feel like he puts his fighters more in fights because they know what they can get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think overall it's a good card. It's just we're going back to that sort of traditional Queensberry style of a lot of names. You're not going to know every name on the card, but you're going to watch them. You'll get some good fights in there, some knockouts, some good bit of boxing. The main event, I still think is... Pardon?
I said, I've been down to York Hall and watched 25 fights back to back. Loved it.
25's crazy. I know when I went to... I saw Yard, or Peterbiev Yard. There was a lot of fights on that. I know I was in there for about 5.5 hours watching fight after fight after fight. But I don't know how many that was. Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm also excited for the main event. I know I'm sort of shitting on I'm saying that Joyce is going to lose and all the rest of it, but I'm still excited for it. Yeah, if Joyce can pull it out of the bag, great.
Do you know what Joyce could do as well? He could come out and prove every single person wrong, because I think that he's got a lot of people asking questions about, like, every fight he takes, could it be his loss? Could another loss? How much damage could that do for him? The future. If he wins, it's going to push him up the rankings. But it's only going to get him another bigger fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Hrgovic is tough. He doesn't go down easily, and you need a tank to beat him. You need a gas tank to beat him because he can do 12 rounds.
Yeah, that's the worry, is that the output's just not going to be enough from Joyce. But who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe we'll be wrong.
We look. Go on.
If Joyce wins, beats Hrgovic, let's not talk world title shots, because I don't think it'll be quite that crazy. Although you never know with the rankings, and we are going to talk about Dubois, Chisora, which now looks even more likely. But if Joyce wins, where does he go? The Dillian White fight doesn't make sense after that. Although I'd still watch it, but it doesn't make sense.
It wouldn't make sense for Joyce because that's
it's almost a step back, and it's still dangerous.
Yeah.
Who could he? He could try Zhang again, but I don't see that going any other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of options, but He's in a weird situation now, Joyce, where I don't actually know where he can go. We've seen a very good version of him in the past. The one that beat Joseph Parker was like, there was genuinely a point in time when we wanted him to fight Usyk. I'm glad that didn't happen. But you could maybe Joyce Bakoli. Bakoli's got a Jagba fight though.
Bakoli would.
I know he would. But
Bakoli's beating Joyce. Like, is there
100%.
any of these fights that you look at that you think, okay, obviously he's fighting Hrgovic Saturday, but outside of that,
maybe Lawrence Okoli
before the fight, is there any of these fights that you look at and go, Joyce has got a good chance of winning it? Although this is heavyweight boxing, by the way, one punch can change everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm looking at the sort of all. So Joyce is ranked 18, box rankings, right? He's number 18, 17 guys ahead of him. I'm looking at the 17 and I'm going, the only ones that I would say he's got a good chance of fighting, Lawrence Okoli would be an interesting fight. Don't know if he would win, but it's an interesting fight. I'd watch that. Murat Gassiev. Gassiev's probably too quick, but I haven't actually seen him at heavyweight. Michael Hunter. I don't even know how he's 12th, but sure. And then Dillian White. So maybe Dillian White is the fight.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the fight. I don't know. Right, let's talk about. There's not too much to talk about this week, so we're kind of. But Chisora versus Dubois looking more and more likely. Like, I'm seeing a lot more interviews about it. There seems to be a bit of a build up.
From a boxing point of view, I would rather watch Parker and Dubois. I think that'll be a tougher fight for Dubois.
100%.
Than Chisora, but it's heavyweight boxing though, man. Like, anything can happen. Chisora just needs one punch. That's the thing with him. He needs one, and if Dubois is then caught off guard, you're like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the world title shot is mental though.
We're not going to kid ourselves and say there's any chance Chisora wins. I'm not. I can't see a world Chisora beats him. I'd love him to, because it's the 50th fight, and if we're going to do this and we're going to do this, I mean, it's not a fight that should happen, but if we're going to do it, then I want Chisora to win.
Yeah.
And I think most of the UK / the world would want Chisora to win. Nothing against Dubois, but yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy that we're even talking about it.
Man.
Yeah, right. In terms of absolute final heavyweight conversation, and it won't even last that long, Deontay Wilder is back. He is back in June. Do we think anything will have changed? He's fighting Tyrell Herndon on 27th of June.
Sounds like he's going back to his caliber of fighters he was fighting when he was WBC champion.
Yeah, so I kind of expect him to get the knockout.
Yeah.
And then we'll start talking about how brilliant he is again.
No, I never said how brilliant he was.
No, I know, I'm joking.
I hope you didn't either, Connor.
I still think he's got the most powerful one punch in heavyweight history. Singular punch. But in terms of technical ability, no.
Put him in the what's that thing Dana White does? Slap.
Power slap.
Yeah, put him in power slap. Because I don't know, you need more than just one fucking thing.
Yeah,
when you fight,
and he doesn't even know how to use it at the moment. So
imagine going against Usyk and going, all I've got is my right hand, and Usyk figures out how to avoid that right hand, and then you've got nothing. You're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, Usyk would figure him out in seconds.
You're freezing up a little bit. Oh, you're back.
Ooh, good stuff. Usyk wouldn't struggle with him. That's not. I mean, he's on the goal to unify belts. He wants to be a world champion again. He wants to win 2 belts at once. It's not going to happen in this era. Daniel Dubois would maul him. AJ would maul him. Tyson Fury, we know what happens there. Fury's retired, but still, Usyk would make him look silly. Parker has made him look silly. Zhile Zhang, I mean, that was even hard to watch. That was a horrible knockout.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Bacoli, that's a terrible fight.
I ain't even got too much to say about Wilder, man. Like, it is what it is. Like, he's getting back out there and boxing. But I don't know what that says for the division.
I do respect the fact he's still trying. I do kind of like that. He doesn't need to. He's been on plenty of Riyadh shows. He's
Has he won on a Riyadh show?
No.
Bad, did it?
Yeah, the last time he won was against Robert Helenius.
Was that a Riyadh show?
No, that was 2022.
The Riyadh shows are bad luck.
Riyadh show is he's only fought Parker and Zhang.
Yeah.
So he just got outdone against Parker and crucified against Zhang. But yeah. And that's kind of boxing this week. There's not a lot more that's happened. Quite a big week for boxing. No real updates on the Dana White stuff, which obviously we are that's what we're really tracking closely because we're excited to see who they sign. The only other thing I did see, the WBC have now announced all of the fighters that are in their own kind of league, their competition, the Prospects League.
Yeah.
They have an Instagram for it. They've announced them all, or have announced most of them. It's going to be really good because there's most of the fighters in there. I'd say of the 128.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of about 3.
Mm-hmm.
So they have gone out and found people from all over. It's almost like the FA Cup. Like you might get a favourite in there that you know, but guy from Argentina.
Can I just clarify again? Yeah. So let me get this right so we can get this in one take on a reel here.
Yeah.
People are critical of Dana White for doing his league, yeah? The WBC are doing a boxing league, which is basically the same thing as what Dana White's doing.
Yep.
What's the issue?
Don't know. WBC one's for prospects, but other than that, there's no difference.
There's prospects on Dana White's, you could argue. They're trying to figure out who his champions are, innit?
Yeah.
So
there's no real difference. But they're both good for boxing.
I don't know, man. Like, I just think people are just too traditional with their views and ways. Times have changed. We got to look at stuff differently. We've out here watching. I found myself watching a Misfits fight 4 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it, Connor.
Was it any good?
No, it was terrible. But I watched it and I was like, that stadium filled out. From the first fight, they had 40,000 people in the arena.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's obviously a market for it. So times are changing. So I suppose we have to open these leagues with welcome arms. The WBC league is just going to be a. What was that tournament that they used to do for all the belts for unification? I knew he won titles on it.
Yeah, Usyk won it as well. They won the Muhammad Ali Trophy.
Super Series.
But what was the actual? Yeah, because they tried bringing it back because that's the one Adesanya got kind of fucked over on.
Yeah. No, that was Boxer.
Yeah, but that was their version of it, wasn't it? It's their.
But Usyk won the unified
Super 6, wasn't it? Super 6?
Yeah, Usyk won the unified cruiserweight titles on it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he got the Muhammad Ali. Is it the Muhammad Ali Trophy? Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Josh Taylor won it as well. They should bring that back. That was good.
How many fights did they do?
They had quarterfinal, semi-final, final. So it was only 7 fights.
Over the space of what?
Don't know. Do they have dates here?
That'd be interesting to know. Because I bet you they were like over a short period of time.
Whoa. Let me just go on Josh Taylor's thing. Find out. Josh Taylor, right? Regis Prograis, Ryan Martin. So over the course of a year, they had 3 fights, all competitive fights. Yeah.
They were contracted to it for like obviously a year then, and then crack on.
Yeah, 11 months. 11 months.
Okay.
And then what? Did they all fight on the same card, or?
Yeah.
No, they did not. Well, not on the first one at least. So Ryan Martin. What about Bereshink?
Didn't they bring that back in? Recently, didn't they bring something back like that?
Yeah, I thought they were doing something. I can't remember.
They done one show, and I haven't seen anything else since.
Yeah. There's loads of people that try and do similar though.
This was a matchroom one, I think.
Yeah, so they've done 2017, 2018. They did cruiserweight and super middleweight. So Usyk won that. Callum Smith won it for super middle. Then 18, 19 super lightweight Josh Taylor, bantamweight Naoya Inoue. And then they did cruiserweight between 2018 and 2020, and Breedis won it. Yeah. I thought they'd done it more recently as well, but maybe not.
No, we need more like that anyway. I think they're better formats. To be honest with you. But yeah, going back to it, Wilder's return is it's just one of them. He should win against his opponent. I don't think that it's getting matches in America. I don't know what show it's on, but it's not on. Well, I'm not sure what platform he's fighting on now.
I think it's PBC, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I like watching Wilder because he's, as much as like technically wise, he's crazy. And I wouldn't say to anyone that's trying to get better at boxing, I wouldn't say watch Wilder to improve. But he's entertaining. He's the only guy you ever find who 2-steps someone to knock them out and ducks all sorts. But yeah. Look, that's boxing this week. I don't think there's much more to talk about.
No.
Right. So in that case, like, subscribe, do all the rest of it. We are, well, I say we, Paolo is on it with the reels right now. I just do the thumbnails. But we've got a lot of stuff coming out at the moment.
Yeah.
So like it, share it, comment as well. That's actually more important to us because we want to hear your opinions. So if you're not going to like and all that rest of it, comment. Just tell us what you think.
Let me read some out from
go on.
A reel. I'll pick a reel. I'll just read the first one that comes up out. So I put one up about us talking about Clarissa Shields. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
And obviously facing Golovkin, which should never happen, but we obviously stated that. I don't know. She's saying it because, I quote, Luis Landoni 2005. She's saying it because she knows Triple G isn't coming out of retirement to beat up a female. Would she last around? I would be surprised. I think we can agree with you there, mate.
Yeah.
But he's definitely missed the point we was making in the reel. Because it was all about, obviously, fighters just having confidence, stuff like that. We appreciate the comment. But I think what Conor was trying to say was potentially it's just about fighters having confidence.
Yeah, you need that, don't you?
Yeah. Anthony Joshua ready to teach Jake Paul a lesson. Paul pays his opponents to take a dive. That is believable. I might be with you on that one. Michael Jensen -Y6M. Reginald _420. Mike Tyson v Jake Paul was rigged. Rigged?
I don't think it was rigged. I think it was a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. But like I say, we appreciate the love. There's quite a few on there, but they're just 3 that I picked out. And someone did call me cross-eyed on the stream. I appreciate that. Thanks for that. Lazy eye. My left eye is in a different postcode, apparently.
Yeah. To be fair, my eyes go lazy as well when I'm tired. I think it happens to everyone, man. It's just human.
Yeah. But the short of it is we appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. Maybe we'll read some of them out on the shows.
Yeah, we should do that more, actually. All right, Joe, we'll do a top comment. We'll do a top comment for the week. We'll shout you out. We'll put the comment on screen. Well, we'll try and put the comment on the screen. That might be a different step, but we'll do something. We'll do top comment. So comment, we'll bring it up. We'll talk about it as well.
More importantly, though, when you're on these reels and shorts or you're on the videos, please subscribe. It helps us to do more stuff like this and potentially bring in new elements and aspects of the channel next year, because when we did do the channel, it was called Hooked Casuals, so that we could talk about everything. So there are different things that we're going to look at and bring up, and maybe bring the reaction videos back as well once we get around how to release them, because that seems to be the big issue at the moment. We've already had one warning from YouTube. What did you get? 3 and you're fucked off? So bit early.
There's different types of warnings. There's like community strikes, and then there's I think community strikes is the one you don't want to get, and that's the one where they start really like you get 3 of those and you're just banned. I think we just getting warnings to say like you can't post that. Take it down, please. So we did. It's a bit annoying because I don't see what we're doing is different to anyone else. But
that stuff because I don't understand that. But I'll do the reels, editing. He does the short. Listen, we've got loads of stuff coming out. And as I said, you just keep on subscribe, like, and sharing. We are doing a live soon as well. I don't know when, but we're doing a live. I'm sure we said we had one in the books.
Yeah, we do.
Could it be Saturday?
Is it? It might be, but I mean, we can still do it.
I'm free Saturday night, so let me know.
Yeah, we'll do a live for that. Why not?
All right, we're doing a live for David Adeleye and you don't have mad it is. I'm saying David Adeleye. And
I was about to say for Joe Joyce.
Joe Joyce and Hrgovic. It's just because that's what I've seen today.
All right. So we'll see people on Saturday. We'll get a post for that tonight or tomorrow. You'll get.
And we will be on from. I'm gonna say 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of fights.
Yeah, so
we'll get a schedule soon anyway from when they're fighting. So we'll work out who we want to see.
Yeah.
But all right, cool.
Over and out.
Over and out. Decent.